Hey friends, welcome to November and Beyond. I'm Dave Kirkpatrick. This week we're going to talk about activities that have been happening here in Keene and activities that are coming up, particularly in Concord. Friday, 3 o'clock, we have some action going on. We'll talk a little bit about what's coming ahead. I also have some video of the rally that happened just last night, Tuesday night, for abortion rights and bodily autonomy here in Keene. But first, I'm going to go right ahead. I have a guest in the studio, guest host. I don't know, I haven't really worked that out. I've got Jonah Wheeler, and we're going to talk a little bit about what's coming up our way. Jonah, welcome to the show.
Good to see you. Hi.
How's things?
Not in the studio, but we're on the computer world together, you know.
Yeah, that's going to work. It's going to get us there. How have
As
you
well
been?
as it has been.
You had a busy
Taking
day,
us a
huh?
good. I have had a little bit of a busy day. I mean, I just became the Heal Together organizer for Rights and Democracy. Just got the call this morning.
Nice.
Drove around a little bit today. I had to go pick up some things and run some errands. It's been a bit
Oh.
of a busy day. Spring cleaning is going on, so
Congratulations. That's really
thank you.
cool.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I've worked pretty hard with Rights and Democracy. It's good to have that paid
That's
off
great.
and get to move up the ladder a little bit for sure.
That's amazing. So what does that entail? What sort of things are you going to be doing in that position?
Well, the Heal Together campaign is a campaign around racial justice here in the state and making sure that the organizers who are doing the work around racial justice here in the state, of which there are more than people would think, know how to do the work, can come into a space where they can learn how to do the work, learn how to best do one-on-ones, become leaders, and really organize their communities in an effective way. Me and a couple of other people are really going to be working really hard on that and holding public meetings where people can come in and train together, educate themselves about the issues of racial justice.
Very cool.
And then we also, there's many different things. We're working out the exacts of the campaign right now, but that's the basics of it, is
Oh, that's
training different
exciting.
organizers and leaders around the state.
Very cool. Do you just hit the ground running? Are you starting now and diving right in, or what does it look like for you?
Pretty much. I mean, sort of at the end of this, like around the end of this month, I think. The campaign itself has already started. I mean, I was with the campaign from the beginning. I think we started in November or December of last year, I think. I might be a little bit wrong on that. But before there was a paid organizer, it was just a few of us who came together and did that, sort of brought people in, organized them, trained them, taught them the race class narrative, taught them how to do one-on-ones, and brought them out into the world where they could then organize their communities around, specifically around the school board fight, which was happening when the CRT
Oh,
culture war was really raging. Which it still is, but
that's amazing. How they were able to kindle that nonsense, I just can't even. I just can't.
oh, it was something else, that's for sure. Something else.
Yeah.
Getting people to believe that, oh, CRT is racist. Oh, it's all this stuff.
I mean, normal
Pretty
people.
clever, pretty clever, pretty clever.
Normal people engaged in this conversation. They said, "Oh my goodness, we don't want our little kids learning about this stuff." And normal people answered it as if that was not a preposterous assertion. Well, like they
Yeah.
pulled this out of nowhere and made rational people have a conversation about their bullshit once again. And, it just blows my mind. We have so much work to
Yeah.
do.
No one like no one wants a white child to feel bad about who they are. That's not what this is about whatsoever. This is
Yeah.
about making sure that everyone feels the inherent respect that's owed to us as human beings. Every single person, whether they're black, brown, white, it does not matter. And that's been lost in this culture war. I think that's been lost, as it always has been. I mean, as our dignity has been lost over these last 4 or 5
Yeah.
decades, some odd.
Yeah. Yeah, it's frightening, and there's so much to do. I keep saying we got to keep the messaging going. We need to keep talking to people. We keep needing to engage people and drag new people into into the fight, because it doesn't have to be a huge fight if we're all in agreement that this, ridiculous things won't stand, but it requires people to do something, at the very least, pay attention, so.
Right.
Yep, got your work cut out
Well,
for you.
To that end, I mean, Asma Alhuni and a few other people got arrested at the State House for during a rally around stopping the divisive concepts legislation that the governor then signed in the budget. Their court date is this Friday as well, and the rally for that court date is at 9 a.m. if I'm not mistaken, at the New Hampshire courthouse, the same place where the abortion rally will be at 3. So if you have a day on Friday and you want to spend the day in Concord, go at 9 a.m., show up, show your support for those who get arrested in this fight and for racial justice. And then also, hang out in Concord and go back for the abortion rally at 3 p.m.
Yeah, I'll see if
It'll
I
be
can
a big
track
day
it
in
down.
Concord, that's for sure.
I'll see if I can track down the other information, maybe when we take a quick little break. I did bring this to the party to say, hey, this is the time, this is the day, this is the date, go for it, folks. Or, show up at the State House, 3 o'clock of this Friday. Let's do this, and let's make some noise. And if it comes down to, shut it down, I can't imagine it's not going to if they keep this nonsense that the Republicans have been throwing at us. There's so much there's so much trouble going on. The arrests at the State House. I was there for a lot of that and filmed some of that, and I think I threatened.
Right, yeah, you have some of that footage. Hopefully you release some of that unreleased footage and
I
find it
do have
eventually.
some fun stuff that never saw
Yeah, right.
saw the light of day, so it is a good time to do that. I'll try to pry a little bit of time away to look at that. Now, I know you get to the State House pretty frequently to check in on issues, to weigh in on issues, to testify, give testimony, I guess is what they would say. And what has been your experience there? I mean, I think that's something that anybody can do, but people don't do. And, how are you feeling about your impact just getting out there and literally showing up, and being heard and that kind of thing?
Well, I would recommend it for anyone who lives in New Hampshire, at least. I mean, I can't speak for any other state, but New Hampshire is a very, our legislate, I mean, we have 400 people. Each town gets one legislator per every 3,500 people. You can talk to your representative, email them, ask them out for coffee, and really engage with them on the issues in a way that most people in this country and around the world cannot. And that's something that we take for granted, I think. Not enough people really do that. You don't even have to necessarily go up to the State House. But I would encourage people to go up to the State House, see what the legislators are like, and what the legislature is like, because it does need serious reform. But the only way that serious reform will come is if people's eyes are open to what is actually happening there at the State House. My experience there has been good. The people on both sides are nice. I think, respectful. The conversations are, from what I've seen, fruitful and somewhat in depth. I mean, people really, it depends on the issue, but people really do get in depth on these bills, and there's real conversation that happens, which is sorely lacking in Washington and a lot of other more powerful states. Some real conversation on what the impact of a waste management bill would be or something along those lines.
Yeah.
So I really would encourage people to go up to the State House. My experience has been really good. I mean, I've had a few moments there, like, politics is dramatic, but those moments don't reflect the legislature at all. I mean, everyone there has been very respectful and civil.
Yep.
And I think that there's an opportunity to actually get something done if we can organize our community and bring them to the State House, testify, and show those legislators the stories about, what's the reality of the people who live in this state, the working class people who live in this state, who need, health care and and all these other things, roads that don't have potholes, all these other things.
Yeah, human needs.
That can only happen through
We've been
organization.
fighting for the rights of the houseless population here in Keene. There's so many things that we can, could, and should be working on together. I think we take for granted, to your point, that you can go and just talk to your legislators, and you can go and complain loudly to them. Like that's a privilege of our culture and our society, and love it or hate it. In America, you can speak your mind. In a lot of places, you can't. So
For now,
I'm,
for now.
for now, and speak your mind, except for and without stepping on too many toes. We know there's a few rules.
But I do have to say, though, in terms of the houseless situation in Keene, I do urge everyone to get in touch with PSL in Keene and the Keene Mutual Aid people who are doing a lot of work. I mean, if you want to get involved with that situation, which I think as many people as they can should, get in touch with those two organizations, Keene Mutual Aid or PSL.
And
Contact
they're doing
me.
great
I
work.
can get you in contact with someone, because there's a real need for that. There's a true solution for those people that live houseless in Keene. Making what the city council wants to be a dog park a campsite again, or this community that is totally tangible and possible, and we can't let those people fall by the wayside. It's
Yeah.
unacceptable, especially in a town like Keene.
Yeah, right.
I mean, we were
now,
talking about it the other day. All the other houseless people from around the region have to go to Keene. So if Keene isn't a support system for them, then they have nowhere.
Yes.
And that's a
Yeah,
terrible
that is a
situation.
burden that is upon the cities, and that's the way it is. It's just the way it is. People with any kind of needs, people who are a little older, people who can't drive, whatever it might be. The city is a place where all the resources are easily available, and it is quite the privilege to be able to live 10 miles out of town and drive your car everywhere. I mean, that's some people just do that and think nothing of it. But yeah, the cities are going to pick up that burden, whether they like it and do it well and plan for it or not. And we can hopefully just make the best of the situation, because it's the thing to do. We need to take care of one another, and we're talking about everybody. So that's the thing. So once again, I wish I had better info for the Friday thing. Let me just pop up the graphic one more time since we have it there. We just want to let folks know, I think, that Friday, 3:00, get on out there. Meet us in Concord. There's going to be people speaking. There's going to be people yelling. Bring your signs. Bring yourselves. Like the sign says, bring your joy. Bring your rage. We'll all be there. We'll try to make a difference. We'll try to speak out. It feels like springtime. It'd be nice to see everybody again. And I keep wanting to tell people, remind people, let's stand up for each other's causes. We really do. We're talking about movement politics. We're talking about grassroots. We need each other. We don't have our network. We don't have our backers. This is all of us. We, the people in the streets, being a tide. Being a force that must be reckoned with, and that takes all of us. We could really use the help across,
Well,
across the platforms.
all these issues intersect. I mean, there's no reason why we shouldn't all show up for, especially this issue, when you have the potential for some of the most draconian laws around control of body that we've seen in 46, almost 50 years, coming up in June. That is a threat to all people. That is a threat to all people. When
It really is.
your mother can't control her own body, when your sister can't control her own body, when your grandma, this is the reality for a lot of people right now in this world. And if we use our comfort, if our comfort lets us take these rights for granted, then we'll wake up one day, and those who have been fighting to take this away for hundreds of years will have won. and
Yeah.
and we need to show up. This is no moment to be apathetic. This is no moment to be a doomer. This is a moment to throw every single thing, every single bit of courage and confidence that we have into this moment, and really put our bodies and lives on the line in some way, to make sure that we have an open and free society for every single person in this country.
Couldn't
And I
agree
think that we
more.
can intersect with people who we have very, for years have disagreed with politically, because this is about freedom. I mean, those people have espoused freedom for so long. I think there's many people who really do agree that this is an issue of freedom in this country, and
And we've seen how far
we need
some
to get
people
out
will
there.
take things. I feel very much that we can't afford not to. I think the powers that be, who fear change, who fear this adjustment, who fear the equality that we strive for, they will truly, slam the door and lock it if we don't get in their way right now. And our side, that's not really, I don't really like to go there, but darn it, if the blue team doesn't play a little too fair sometime, almost suspiciously too fair. But we need to put an end to this, and we need to call it out wherever we see it. Sorry, blue
Right.
centrist Dems, we're looking at you folks too. A lot of people could clean their houses and put us back on the right track here. So
It's a moment for fire, not moderation. I mean, I'm a pragmatist at heart for sure. I mean, I want to get something done, but it is no moment for moderation, because moderation in the face of abject evil and catastrophe will only allow catastrophe uh, to arise. That the example has been proven over and over again. I think of 1930s Germany as the best example, when the Liberal Party was trying to restore some liberal, republic kind of thing in Germany. And next thing you know, the Nazis took power and never gave it up until a world war happened. And that was pre-nuclear weapons. So
yep.
this
And
is
that sleight of hand, like you mentioned, there was this one movement, and it just got twisted around and explained differently, and people bought that stuff. Unbelievable.
I think, and I really do think people understand that it is, it's not left versus right now. It is top versus down, and it is us versus them. There is a wealthy elite with all the power and impunity to make decisions across borders with no nationality whatsoever, including multinational corporations. This moment is about the people versus them, not any one candidate or any one political leader or another or ideology. It really is about, are we going to protect and save the world and this country for generations to come, and
Yeah.
people feel that, and I think people will be out on Friday, and I will continue to plug, get out there on Friday, get out there during the summer, and really show up and be shown, and be ready to fight.
I would like to see it, and yeah, we need to fill the what do we call it there? The quad, the common. We need to fill the place. We need to show up and be seen and be heard, and there's just no other way. We're going to have to do it ourselves. There's nobody else coming to the rescue. Let's all show up
No.
and do our part. Well, thank you for taking the time out tonight, Jonah. I
Thank
do
you,
appreciate
Dave.
it.
Yeah.
A lot of bumps in the road to getting our show going. I apologize for some of the trouble that we've had with this, and in fact, I'm actually going to stitch it together, and people will see it later. But I
No
can take us away. I can take us to the rally we had yesterday. I can let that run for the good folks at home. I think I'll upload that as a single file as well, so people can just check that out while the iron is hot. I mean, we're in the mood. So I think we're good. Thanks so much for coming, and I can
Thank
catch
you.
up to you, I suppose, real soon, Friday, if not sooner. But give me a ring if there's anything we can do to get things together. And of course, folks at home can reach out to us here at the NAB show. So, anything you'd like to add before we go?
Get out there on Friday. That's all I can say. That's all I
Yeah,
can say.
get on
Plug it
Friday.
again. And if you can, go to both 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. But
Absolutely.
totally understand
Something all day,
not, yeah.
and yep, all of it counts. So, very good.
Right.
Well, thanks so much.
Have a good one, Dave.
Have a good night.
Today, we're marching because of the stripping of Roe v. Wade. We're marching for all the folks who have died because they did not have access to a safe and legal abortion. We're marching for all the folks who have been imprisoned for having an abortion. We're marching for all the folks who, without Roe, are going to get thrown in prison for having or giving an abortion. Y'all know the police in this country are not very gentle when they arrest people. No, not at all. Consider the level of violence that stripping Roe v. Wade brings on everybody in this crowd, everybody not in this crowd. Not only are folks going to die from just not having access to abortion, but like, how are you going to counter when thousands of people are having their doors busted in? Are you willing to stand in between a bunch of cops and someone who had an abortion? Are you willing to risk your life for this? Are you willing to drive someone out of state to get an abortion? The risks are going up a lot. People are going to get indicted on murder charges for participating in abortion. So what are we going to do? We're going to rise up for Roe! We're going to fill the streets! The politicians that are responsible for this ridiculous, senseless violence are going to have a very annoying time going in public, going forward.
People have addresses, just throw that out there. Okay. Yeah, that's true. Make more stuff against abortion.
All I want to say is stay fierce, stay dangerous, know what the stakes are. If Roe goes, a lot of comforts that we live with are going to go. If you see protests and you think, oh no, that's too aggressive, or that's not civil, just remember, civility was thrown out the window when they tried taking body rights from tens of millions of folks. And peaceful was taken off the table when they knew all the folks that would die because of it. That is all. It is our duty to fight for our freedom! Okay, next up we have Kelly. Just figuring something out right now. Okay, welcome Kelly.
Does this work? All right, here we go. So most of you have probably met me while screaming like a mad woman around this place. That's me, okay. So my journey started out January 19th. Well, it started out when I got pregnant back in September of last year. And I work in healthcare. That's just a side note, but you know, I advocate for my patients every single day. We'll say that. So we go to the doctors after months of them finding something wrong on the ultrasound. Nothing wrong on the genetic testing. So we're thinking, we really have to get an abortion with no real concrete evidence other than visually on this ultrasound. You can see that my baby's head was 3 times the size it should be, with no answer. I'm at 16 weeks by now when the doctors finally tell me this, and the only reason why they knew that there was a problem was because I hemorrhaged at 9 weeks. If I had not hemorrhaged lifting a patient at work, they would not have known. I wouldn't have known until about 18 to 20 weeks when I got the first full body scan done. So that would have given us, what, 4 weeks now? 4 to 6 weeks to make that decision? Well, I was 16 weeks then. And it took me 2 weeks to get my abortion because only one place in New Hampshire would take me, Dartmouth in Lebanon. Now, here we go again. I'm a professional. I have a car. I'm married. I have the ability to get there. I do. But I know so many others do not. And that enraged me. It was more than just me losing my baby. The trauma that came to me was after the abortion. I actually felt relief. I knew that my baby was no longer suffering. You guys can cheer now. That's cheering for me, okay? My baby was no longer suffering inside me. So I'm not ashamed. I got an abortion. I would do the same thing for my patients if they were getting denied access to a procedure that would save their life and end their child's suffering. So no matter the reason, because apparently, my situation is acceptable to some of the anti-abortion people, but no, I'm just the shoe-in. I invited myself to the table. We're gonna fight for these rights. Vote in November. Who cares what your parents say? Seriously, our parents voted for these friggin' people. They took away our rights. Let's vote them out.
Thank you so much to all of our amazing speakers. If you're interested in speaking, I think we're going to have an opportunity after we march for people who want to speak to the crowd, to share their stories, share what they know, things like that. But first, we're going to have a march. We're going to get some anger up. We're going to yell. We're going to go. So I'd like to invite one of my fellow marshals up to give you guys some instructions, and then we can get going, okay? Oh my God, wait, sorry. I should see my comrades from SBOC holding up their box. I know that they have free tampons and condoms and pads and menstrual health supplies in there. So if anybody wants that, go say hi. Okay, let's get this going. You got your own?
Oh, I brought my own. Yes, if it works.
All right, is this gonna work? Can you hear me? Yeah. Amazing. I love when things work. Okay. So hi everyone, my name is Pauline. I'm so happy that you're all here and really grateful. I'm terrified. Is anyone else terrified? Yeah, this fucking sucks. And that's why we're here doing something about it. And as an organizer, one of the things I really care about is taking our rage and our fear and our passion outside of the space where we gather together. This is so powerful, and it's just a catalyst for all the work we do out in the world about this. So before we march, I'm going to invite everyone to actually sign up for the newsletter and possibly donate, if you're able, to the Reproductive Freedom Fund of New Hampshire. This is a fund an organization that was started by some of my comrades and my good friends over at New Hampshire Youth Movement, and it is a fund that funds abortions for people in New Hampshire who cannot afford them, don't have access to them. They do a ton of, what'd you say, Kelly?
They funded mine.
They funded Kelly's! Oh my God, yes!
With 1 day's notice. 1 day's notice.
1 day's notice.
$3,400 was my abortion.
$3,400, 1 day's notice. That is the kind of thing that
That's
community
why
support
I'm
can do.
James,
It's
amen.
amazing, truly. And it shouldn't have to exist, but we make sure that it does. So, the website is wait, let me make sure I have this right. Pull out your phones. Let's look it up here. Okay, so the website is reprofundnh.com. So that's reprofundnh.com. reprofundnh.com. And so when you open that up, you'll see a little bar at the top that says sign up for our newsletter. And let's just all take a second, put in your email address, and sign up for their newsletter. I'll give everyone a moment. ReproFundNH. All right, open Instagram. I don't have Instagram, but I would follow if I did. And then if you scroll down to the bottom of the page, there's a button that says donate. And I would encourage you, if you are able and have funds and have access to donate to this fund, Or like leave the website pulled up on your phone so you can donate later. Ask your rich family member to donate. That's something that I like to do.
$10, give it to them.
Yeah, my friends' parents. I'm like, hey, I know you come from money. I'm gonna guilt you into paying for these things. So anyway, thank you all for taking the moment to do that. I think it's really important that we stay involved in these things after we leave this space together. So now we're gonna march. Here's some logistical things. First of all, Scotland was having an abortion. Of course, that's true.
Whoa!
And of course, as we know, it's super troublesome, not only for the life of the birth parent, but also for that special life of that child and resources. We're gonna start heading over. Thank you so much.
Hannah, you want to hug the crowd?
We're gonna march back after this is over, so that we can travel together to central location.
Who's ready to go? Yeah! Y'all might as well?
Yeah!
When abortion rights are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When abortion rights are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
Sirens.
Rights are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When abortion rights are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When abortion rights are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
Do we have Kelly somewhere in the crowd with her megaphone?
Stand up, fight back!
True. When abortion rights are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When abortion rights are under attack, what do we do?
We fight back! Patriarchy's got to go! Hey! Ho ho! Patriarchy's got to go! Hey! Ho ho! Patriarchy's got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! Patriarchy has to go! Ho ho!
Patriarchy